Welcome to this very first webinar for SIPROTEC 5 Compact Universal Protection Device. My name is Michaela Mönekes and I'm happy to be a moderator for this webinar. Some of you might already know me from exhibitions like Hanover Fair, SIGRE, EUW, where I had been giving tours over the Siemens booth. And today, I'm giving you a virtual tour through this webinar for our brand new solution SIPROTEC 5 Compact, a universal device for your medium voltage applications. And before we will start with the expert's presentation, let us check if the setup works. We prepared a short poll. The simple question is, can you hear and see me? As the poll is not visible in full screen mode, you might want to press escape. If you have problems, please try to refresh the player console by pressing F5 or Command R on a Mac. This webinar solution works best with a Chromium-based browser like Chrome. Ideally, use a wired LAN connection. And if you have turned on VPN tunneling, you might want to turn it off. And yes, we will record the webinar and make the recording and the slides available to all registered participants afterwards. Checking with the host. It looks like our setup is working. We prepared a process for your questions. As you cannot ask them audible in here, you're kindly invited to type them in the Q&A box in the upper right corner. We will try to answer as many of them as possible at the end of the presentation. And if there will be more questions than time, we will answer them afterwards via email. And now, let me introduce our experts. Johannes Broos is the product manager for the SIPROTEC Compact products, and he will present some nice features. Thomas Dörr is a senior sales manager and finds the optimal solution for our clients. Johannes and Thomas, as we are curious to hear about SIPROTEC 5 Compact, a universal device for medium voltage applications, the stage is yours.
Yeah, thanks, Michaela, for the nice introduction. As you know, Siemens has a very long history since the foundation in 1847. Already from 1910 up to today, we have experience in protection relays. Almost 6 years, only electromechanical based relays were the standard. Afterwards, there was the transition to the electrostatic generation. And in the end of the 70s, we started in the digital world, more experimental as on a commercial base. In 1985, we introduced the 7SJ50 relay. We say this was the first digital protection relay in the world with our well-known compact design, here with dip switches, but without communication interfaces. Almost 10 years later, the successor 7SJ600 has been launched with communication interface and a software setting via the first simple DIXI version based on DOS. This is this Microsoft Disk Operating System. The story goes on with SIPROTEC Compact, which was brought on the market in 2008 as successor for our 600 series and based on the SIPROTEC 4 philosophy. SIPROTEC 5 started in 2012 as successor for SIPROTEC 4 with complete new hardware design and a higher flexibility and modularity. In 2015, we reached a milestone. More than 1.5 million digital devices have been sold by us, and most of them are still in field operation. And like a good cheese or wine, also relays need time to reach the maturity. Therefore, SIPROTEC 5 compact relays are designed and built on more than 110 years of protection experience. And the protection algorithms are taken over from our SIPROTEC 5 relays. Also, the internal structure are built on SIPROTEC 5, ensuring the same quality, maturity and experience of the Siemens protection build. But have a look on. Yeah, I am proud to present the new SIPROTEC 5 compact device and how it looks like. And now, Johannes, it's your turn.
So thank you, Thomas. I just noticed that I was still muted. With a clear focus on medium voltage, industry and infrastructure applications, we know very well that these applications require a simple but highly reliable protection. The name SIPROTEC 5 Compact states it already. It offers the perfect combination of our two proven SIPROTEC systems. On the one side, we have our well-known SIPROTEC Compact devices. With a space-efficient housing, they are optimized for medium voltage applications. This is now combined with all the advantages of the field-proven SIPROTEC 5 platform. That means that all the well-proven functions and cool features from our flagship SIPROTEC 5 are now available in such a compact device. So which are some of the benefits you gain from the SIPROTEC 5 platform? As mentioned before, the new device inherits the functionality from our high-end SIPROTEC 5 family. This means that our mature SIPROTEC 5 protection algorithms are for sure also available in SIPROTEC 5 Compact. Building up on the SIPROTEC 5 platform means also that we are now able to offer new functionality in our Compact series, as for example, a transient earthfall protection or power quality functionality. And for sure, it's also a future advantage, as we benefit from future SIPROTEC 5 innovations as the devices are sharing the same platform. Being a part of our SIPROTEC 5 family means also less expenses and also less training effort for you, as you need only one configuration tool, 65, also for combined projects with our well-known SIPROTEC 5 devices and our brand new SIPROTEC 5 Compact series. But this is not all. SIPROTEC 5 Compact offers a universal approach, which fits exactly to your application. Whether you need an overcurrent relay for a feeder, you want to protect a motor, or you need a relay for voltage applications. Instead of having different device types, 7SJ for feeder protection, 7SK for motor protection, or 7RW for voltage and frequency applications, your protection relay has now always one name, 7SX800. The basic device contains already all current-based functions to protect a feeder. Voltage-based functions or motor protection functions can easily be added anytime using function points. With our universal power supply, the relay can be used anywhere, regardless of whether the auxiliary voltage is 24 volts or 250 volts. This means more flexibility for you. Just put the basic 7SX800 variant in stock and define later what kind of protection you actually need for your specific application. Besides this, the 7SX800 allows you now also to pre-test the device without the need of a test set by simulating analog and digital values within the device. But with our digital twin, you do not even need a physical device to perform the tests. The cloud-based digital twin is a real-time digital replica of your physical SIPROTEC 5 compact device. It allows you to test your device in a convenient way from everywhere without any hardware, also from your home office. The results are shorter testing outages as your pre-tests can already be performed in advance. Our digital twin also offers you the opportunity to show your customers in advance, virtually, all the possibilities of SIPROTEC 5 compact devices. It also allows you to conduct training sessions on our protection devices, flexible at any location. In summary, our digital twin is the ideal solution for getting your protection devices up and running quickly and cost effectively, especially nowadays with all the travel restrictions. We know very well that the future offers a near endless spectrum of possibilities, especially when it comes to communication. But these are coupled with the potential threats of a digital landscape. To make sure that you are always on the safe side, we integrated all advanced cybersecurity features already as standard into the device. Encrypted Plexi5 communication hinders sniffing and the alteration of device settings. SIPROTEC 5 Compact for sure validates the source and the integrity of the signed firmware to avoid cyber attacks via a corrupted firmware. All individual setting changes are recorded in the setting history log. This enables you to determine whether setting changes are associated with, for example, faults. And for sure, the device interfaces have also an access restriction to control the possible access to the device. But that's not all. To avoid that people can easily modify and operate the device anonymously, SIPROTEC 5 Compact offers a role-based access control that allows you to specify authorization based, for example, on the user role. With SIPROTEC 5 Compact, you have all these security features already on board, whether you use them today or you plan to activate them in the future when the regulations might change.
Okay, thanks a lot, Johannes. What is exciting about the hardware? SIPROTEC 5 Compact rounds up the SIPROTEC 5 family with the same look and feel. The housing dimensions enable easy retrofit with the older compact devices. It's 1/6 of 19 inch. The colored graphical display is really programmable, and the resolution is identical with the SIPROTEC 5 platform. Besides the interfaces on the rear side, you can connect the web UI, or the web user interface, and or the Dixie also via USB front port. And this can be done via standard USB cable. And you can use any browser you like the Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, or Firefox. The LED labels can be shown on the display by pressing the LED description button. Your advantage, no ugly paper strips are necessary anymore. How does the rear view looks like? We have a wide range power supply. Only one universal power supply for all voltages. From DC from 24 volt up to 250 volt, AC 80 volt up to 265 volt. This reduces the variance and less spare parts if different voltages levels are in various substations. The black terminal on the left-hand side is available if you need more binary inputs and binary outputs via an inbuilt additional I/O board. Finally, the interfaces are always on board right from the beginning. More information later from Johannes. All in all, we can say the hardware setup as follows. We have 4 CTs, also current transformer inputs on board, 4 for protection or 3 protection plus 1 sensitive input. We have 4 VT inputs, voltage transformer inputs. In example, for SIPROTEC in combination with all other voltage-based functions. The base version contains 4 binary inputs and 5 binary outputs. Including an additional I/O card, we can offer 14 binary inputs in 11 binary outputs. The philosophy is the same as for SIPROTEC 5. Via DXi5, the web user interface, and the front keypad, you can select if you want to have a 1 amp or 5 amp device, or you can set the different binary input thresholds. The battery can be exchanged from outside, so it's not necessary to open the device. It keeps sealed. Therefore, you have less risks for internal damages. The 7SX800 is very flexible and reliable because all the terminals are extractable. We say this is useful for cubicle manufacturers. The terminals can be ordered separately beforehand. Therefore, pre-wiring and testing of the cubicle without having the physical device on board. And when the device arrives, you can click the terminals into the relay. Very simple. This reduces production times of cubicles by doing the cubicle wiring in parallel with the production of the device. The replacement of the device is also very easy. You can keep the wiring from extractable terminals to or within the cubicle, so it's not necessary to test the wiring after device replacement. The CTs are integrated in the terminal, so therefore you have no open CT secondary windings. The current loop of the primary CT is always closed by the resistor built in the terminal, what you can see on the right-hand side. Therefore, no generation of dangerous voltages can be done. Additionally, we can say simple modification is possible for use in networks with different star point configurations by easily changing the CT terminal block. A CT's terminal block is also available for sensitive ground fault inputs, and this is necessary for applications in isolated and compensated networks. And now, Johannes, back to you.
Thanks, Thomas. To make sure that the relay is ready for communication, a SIPROTEC 5 Compact is always equipped with a redundant Ethernet interface. The picture shows the 2 Ethernet ports F1 and F2. In our first release, the relay will always contain an optical Ethernet interface. It can be used for remote DXi access and can be upgraded via function points to support the IEC61850 protocol. The redundancy protocols RSTP, PRP, and HSR are for sure also available. In the next step, we will offer an electrical Ethernet interface as well as all other Ethernet protocols that you know from SIPROTEC 5, like DMP3, Profinet, Modbus, TCP, you name them. We know that a lot of our users also still like serial protocols. Therefore, SIPROTEC 5 Compact will also support a serial interface in the next step that can alternatively be used for IRIG-B time synchronization. The serial interface port E is located right in the middle. SIPROTEC 5 Compact will for sure also support all serial protocols that are supported by SIPROTEC 5, like IEC103 and in the future also Modbus serial. SIPROTEC 5 Compact is always ready for communication. As the device is based on the SIPROTEC 5 platform, it is now possible to offer functions in our compact portfolio that have so far been reserved for our flagship brand SIPROTEC 5. One example is the sensitive ground fault protection. The directional sensitive ground fault detection function detects ground faults in isolated and compensated networks. In SIPROTEC 5 Compact, we offer different working methods of the function that can be perfectly adapted to the conditions of the power system and, of course, your user philosophy. With our high sampling rate of 8 kHz, it is now also possible to offer a transient ground fault function which allows the detection of very short ground faults and is ideal especially for mesh power systems. For the determination of the faulty feeder after switching operations, you can use a stage-with phasor measurement using the 3rd, 5th, or 7th harmonic. New in our compact series is also the admittance principle that is, for example, quite common in Poland. To sum it up, whatever your network looks like or how your user philosophy is, we have the right method to detect ground faults integrated in the 7SX800. Another good example for our new possibilities is a capacitor bank protection. Capacitors and capacitor banks are used for various applications. For example, as reactive power compensation to stabilize the voltage, as fast and reactive power control, or as filter circuits to eliminate certain frequencies. SIPROTEC 5 Compact is ideal to protect smaller sized capacitor banks with its specific capacitor protection functions. With a single phase current unbalanced protection, the 7SX800 is able to protect capacitors with double star point connection against internal faults of single capacitor elements. The peak overvoltage protection protects the capacitor's dielectric against peak overvoltages. And the 7SX800 monitors also the local circuit breaker for restriking after opening and would then open the upstream circuit breaker. This is necessary as its capacitors discharge only slowly after being switched off. Therefore, high voltages can occur across the circuit breaker poles. You see it. Capacitor protection is an integrated part of SIPROTEC 5 Compact. And now to you, Thomas.
Yeah, besides SIPROTEC 5, we implemented also the power quality basic functions in the new compact relay. You have to know, utilities, industry, infrastructure, or simple consumers have influence on the power quality. Many applications are sensitive to power quality issues and lead to unexpected risks like faults, damages, or production downtimes. Typically, power quality issues come from circuit breaker operations within the grid. It can cause to voltage dips. Or the feeding of renewable energies can lead to voltage swells. Or you have nonlinear loads or huge machines in industry. They could cause to harmonic distortions. Therefore, you need information about the power quality status in your network. And this by using power quality basic functions. Needed for recognizing trends, because as mentioned, more and more voltage quality related problems occur. Or you want to log abnormal events and values. Or you need early warnings messages at sensitive areas or critical infrastructures if some power quality values exceed a threshold. It helps you to optimize processes or to avoid unexpected extra costs. Power quality stability creates reliability and in the end, finally, profitability. It's a cost-effective, easy and fast solution also for entire grids and huge power systems. Following functions are available. First, the voltage variations like dip, swell or interruption. Then we have also implemented the voltage unbalance. Also the total harmonic distortion, this is the RMS of the total harmonics divided by the RMS of the fundamental wave. Or typically for the American area, there's the total demand distortion. This is the RMS of the total harmonics divided by the peak demand current. Finally, SIPROTEC 5 Compact is a universal relay for protection, power quality, and automation issues. Okay, thanks a lot, and back to Johannes.
Thanks, Thomas, for this information on power quality. We know very well that your time is precious. So if you're new to the SIPROTEC world, we make sure that your entry to SIPROTEC 5 Compact is smooth and fast. This begins already when you configure a relay. When you add the device in our configuration tool, Dixie 5, you are directly asked what you want to protect and how the application looks like. By selecting the proper application template, for example, a directional overcurrent application in a government system, DXC5 makes sure that the relay is already pre-configured with the necessary functions and routings. All necessary preparations, like connecting the current and voltage values to the protection functions, are already predefined, and you do not need to take care about them during parameterization. These templates can be used as they are, or as a base for creating user-defined application templates. After customizing the templates, they can be stored in the library and can be used in all further projects, which minimizes the setting efforts to nearly zero. Especially in case of basic applications, you typically just need to adapt a handful of parameters. This scenario is supported with favorite settings. Just select your relevant settings as favorites by clicking in DXC on the star symbol next to it. Then your favorite settings are shown in an extra page so that you have a clear picture of the small subset of settings that actually needs to be modified. We also know that a lot of our users like the possibilities that our CFC logic editor offers. With the SIPROTEC 5 compact debugging possibilities, the creation of powerful logics is even easier than before. Often there are only tiny issues that must be fixed, but to find them is often difficult without tracing possibilities. The CFC online simulation helps to test and troubleshoot your build logics. The big advantage is that the signals from the fields are acquired in real time. This means that changes or different states on the primary side can be traced in this CFC simulation so that the correct reaction of the CFC can be verified. This increases the safety and security of your CFC logic. Very often, checklists for the settings of a protection device are prepared and exchanged with the engineering department via Excel. With our TX plugin, you have the possibility to directly adapt the settings in Excel. The XML-based DXC5 TX plugin is intended to import, modify, and export SIPROTEC 5 compact as well as SIPROTEC 5 device settings using Microsoft Excel. The Excel structure is built up like the DXC5 structure and allows you to focus on your relevant settings by hiding less important settings via group, ungroup buttons. Excel provides therefore a very comfortable way to adapt your settings. All cells in light yellow color indicate settings that can be modified. Fixed setting values can be selected via a drop-down selection box. Settings that can be entered as a value, for example a threshold, always display the range of allowed values. Values outside this range are displayed as inconsistent to avoid that you enter a wrong value. Especially if you use more than one parameter group, the TX Excel plugin shows you a very good overview of your settings in your different parameter groups. This is especially of interest as SIPROTEC 5 Compact offers now up to 8 parameter groups. Let's assume your relay tripped and the whole production stopped in your factory. In this case, time is running, as every minute standstill costs you a fortune. What you need now is a fast analysis of the fault reason. For sure, this is not the time to start searching for your PC with your configuration software. Instead, you can simply use our web UI, which gives you quick access to your relay via a standard web browser. The browser-based user interface is a comprehensive commissioning and monitoring tool that provides an easy-to-understand display of the most important measured data. Our web UI is a great help during your commissioning phase. You can check and adjust the values of a specific setting, or you can even compare the values of 2 or more devices. But it helps you also during the inspection while operating the device, as it offers you an easy way to check all types of measured values. The operational values can even be displayed as vector diagrams. The Web UI provides you also an overview of the binary inputs, outputs, and LEDs with actual values, and it's also possible to show, for instance, the updated view of the device display page. Last but not least, you have an easy access to the log files and are also able to download fault records in the well-known config format. What I think is very important to mention is the fact that the access via the web browser is for sure considering the cybersecurity requirements. The connection is done via the encrypted HTTPS protocol. The Ethernet interface access can be limited to read-only, so that it's not possible to adapt any settings. And it's for sure possible to define a connection password or even define a role-based access. To sum it up, even if you're not familiar with Dixie 5, the Web UI also allows you to read out measurement values, switch breakers, and even change individual settings. So what can we offer? Our SIPROTEC website is our central access point to get further information about our relays, including application notes that help you to get the most out of your relays. The SIPROTEC 5 Compact catalog will also be available there from February. Our industry mall will offer you not only an easy way to find and order our relays, there you will find also relevant documents like CAD files and dimension drawings. We also offer webinars like this one to inform you about our solutions and give you also guidance how to work with our products. If you want to dig deeper, we have also plenty of YouTube tutorials available that help you, for example, when you have questions regarding your Dixie configuration. And for sure, we have also expert consultancy via global and local user consultants to make sure that you also get support in your local language. Very important is also our Siemens Power Academy that has a brand new in-depth training available, especially for SIPROTEC 5 Compact. Finally, you also have the chance to join our partner program that offers you special conditions and access to our partner portal. Before we will continue, one more question to the audience. We would like to offer you a tender specification related to SIPROTEC 5 Compact. If you are interested in receiving such a tender specification, just use the buttons on the right side. So what's coming next? We already presented you a lot of cool features that we will offer with the first release, but for sure, this is just the beginning. The next step after the launch will be the completion of our Ethernet and serial protocols. As I already mentioned, SIPROTEC 5 Compact will then support the same protocols that we offer also for our SIPROTEC 5 devices. This includes IC103, DMP3, Profinet, Modbus, etc. We plan for sure also the line differential functionality for SIPROTEC 5 Compact. This functionality will also be based over IP, so we will also have a completely Ethernet-based solution for line differential protection. And besides this, we also want to bring in arc protection besides a lot of other cool features that are currently on our roadmap. You'll see, this is just the beginning. Now back to you, Thomas.
Okay, thanks a lot, Johannes. Last but not least, as takeaway, again, our three key messages. The SIPROTEC 5 Compact relay is from Siemens. SIPROTEC is the brand for reliable protection for more than 110 years. Since generations, our experts are developing relays with the highest standards and provide excellent service. We use the same algorithms and advantages as in the established SIPROTEC 5 platform. We can provide global service via our customer support centers. for 24 hours in 7 days. We can also provide local service via local Siemens organizations with local language in more than 70 countries. Furthermore, we have short delivery times because it's made in our well-established factory in Berlin. Furthermore, we have a commissioning failure service for seamless exchange of possible faulty devices. We want to keep your time schedule. And everything is based on the high Siemens quality standard. Furthermore, it's for the future. SIPROTEC 5 Compact is ready to cover future challenges in your substation and grid system. As mentioned, virtual tests with SIPROTEC Digital Twin for shorter test times and less expenses. We have IoT connectivity on board to transmit all the data into cloud-based systems, getting higher grid availability. We have an integrated and comprehensive cybersecurity features to protect the grid stability. We have advanced functionality like power quality functions, cap bank protection, several different sensitive ground fault protection functions, and the redundant Ethernet interface for using Ethernet-based protocols like the IEC 6150, DNP3, Profinet, etc. And all in all, together with the high available station communication via PRP, the parallel redundancy protocol, and or HSR, the high-speed seamless redundancy. And it is for you. SIPROTEC 5 Compact can be applied for many configurations, from simple up to complex schemes, for protection beginners up to application experts. A universal relay helps to minimize spare part assets and increases the flexibility due to less type variance. It's an easy operation in engineering via web UI on the user interface or DXA5, the exchange of settings via Excel plugin, or the CFC as a continuous function chart, and the online simulation is possible. SIPROTEC 5 Compact is powerful and compact due to the input-output density for small and big substations. And now we have another poll for you. You can see it on the right-hand side. Do you currently have an application where you would like to use the SIPROTEC 5 Compact? So please refer to the right-hand side checkboxes and decide if you are working in the distribution area, in the industry sector, or in the infrastructure. If none of these 3 above mentioned branches, please take others. And in between, I have to say thank you for listening, and back to Michaela for the questions and answers session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Johannes, and thank you, Thomas. Interesting, insightful, and inspiring. Let me check for questions from the auditorium. I will read each question aloud, and hopefully you can answer them. The first question is, where is the production of the relay, and how long is the delivery time?
The production of the... Oh, I was a little bit faster than Johannes.
So it's Thomas.
No problem. The production of the relay will be in our, as mentioned, our well-established factory in Berlin, and the delivery time are oriented to our SIPROTEC 5 platform, and it's in the average 3 weeks ex works.
Okay. And the next question, or the next one wants to know, which languages are supported?
I think that's definitely the good point of building up on the SIPROTEC 5 platform. Yeah, so we will definitely support all the languages that you know from SIPROTEC 5. Yeah, so for sure English, German, Italian, Portuguese. So whatever language is available in SIPROTEC 5 will also for sure be available in SIPROTEC 5 Compact.
That sounds comprehensive. Thank you. And how is time synchronization achieved?
It can either be achieved via the protocol itself. So if you have an Ethernet connection, it would be SMTP, for instance, or later on with the protocols that we offer, there's also time synchronization possible. And as I mentioned, there's one port in the middle that can be either used for serial communication later on, or it can be used for IRP synchronization. So this is also possible.
Okay, so I need to decide on what to do there.
Mm-hmm.
And who wants to answer the next question? It is, are the CT blocks compatible to the SIPROTEC 5 ones of the non-modular 7SX800 or the extendable ones?
So the CT blocks are also extendable, like you know from SIPROTEC 5, but they will be specific for SIPROTEC 5 compact. Yeah, but the way how you handle them, that you can plug them out, plug them in, and replace them, it's exactly the same as you know from SIPROTEC 5.
Okay, so known technique, but special for the compact series. Okay, and when do you need Dixie 5, and when is the web UI sufficient?
I would say it depends on your application. So if you want to configure a relay, if you're starting from the beginning, I would recommend using Dixie 5, yeah, because there you can really configure a project, you can define the settings for the relay, you can really set up the relay so that the relay is working later on, that you can put it in service. The other side is looking at the web UI. There the focus is more on your daily work, yeah. So the relay has been configured, the relay is working, and you want to check some measurement values. Or as I mentioned in the webinar, so suddenly there's a fault, and you want to quickly understand what happened here. So you want to quickly read out your logs. You want to see why the relay has tripped. And for your daily work, there the web UI is quite cool because it's really easy, really intuitive. And so I see these both worlds. Yeah. So for engineering the device, definitely more on the Dixie side, and for your daily work, there I would see the web UI.
Okay, sounds rather logical to me. And somebody wants to know what kind of communication is supported? Optical, electrical, serial?
Yeah, as also mentioned, we will, in the beginning, when we launch the device, we will have an optical Ethernet interface with IC6150 available. And then in the next step, we will for sure offer also an electrical Ethernet interface. We will offer a serial interface, which is located in the middle. And we will offer all protocols that you know from SIPROTEC 5. Yeah, so whatever you use with your SIPROTEC 5 devices, all these protocols are for sure also available in SIPROTEC 5 compact. Like, for sure 6150, DMP3, Modbus, Profinet, you name them.
So it's definitely more languages than I am capable of. And somebody else wants to know, what is the resolution of the display and how many switching devices can be displayed?
The resolution of the display is exactly as the resolution of our SIPROTEC 5 display. So it's 320 by 240 pixels. And what was again the second question?
And how many switching devices can be displayed?
It's up to you, yeah. So you can add as many switching devices as you like in the display. The thing is, normally they are connected to binary inputs, binary outputs. So it depends a bit on the amount of IOs you have in your relay. How many switches you would add to the display? Yeah.
Okay, and if I already have hardware, is there a retrofit package for the 600 series available?
We are currently working on solutions to help you to come from 7SJ600 to 7SX800. So there will be a guidance for you that shows you the terminals on the 7SJ600 series and how they are now in the 7SX800 series and so on, so that you have an easy, so that there will be an easy conversion for you to switch over from older compact devices to the brand new 7SX800. Yeah, so we will offer something for you.
Sounds great. And I know that you talked about security, but somebody wants to know exactly how secure is the interface with the web UI?
Yeah, as stated, it's really secure. Yeah, so you have the HTTPS protocol, which is encrypted. Yeah, so that's one important thing, and it's always possible to block the access to the relay via the web UI. So you can define, okay, it's not possible to connect it in any way, or you can say it shall be possible to read out values, but it shall not be possible to change values. Yeah, so this can also be set. Yeah, and for sure you can also define user roles here. So there are a lot of ways to make this web UI quite secure, also for your applications.
Okay, so I can configure that, what people can do there. Oh, and somebody also already wants to have some hands-on. When can we get devices for testing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I can also answer, Johannes. The delivery release for the compact relay is planned in May, June this year. And I think you can have a relay for testing in approximately in May this year.
Okay. And talking about certifications, the auditorium wants to know, do we have a KEMA IEC 61850 certificate? I think you.
Yeah, for sure, this will be available. Yeah, so as soon as we have the release ready, then for sure also the KEMA certificate will be available. Yeah, I think that's a must. Yeah.
And how can I order such a device?
Yeah, the relay can be ordered via, as mentioned, via the industry mall, or you can contact the local Siemens organization, and via this organization you can order the relay relatively simple.
Okay.
Yeah, and what I would like to mention here is that we really wanted to have a simple way to order the relay, so that we decided to have again an MLFB that you know from our SIPROTEC 4 compact devices, and so it's really easy to order this relay. Yeah, so with a simple 16-digit MLFB.
Cool. So we talked about ordering, and now it's again about inputs and outputs. The question is, what are the standard binary inputs and binary outputs? Normal ones or fast ones?
We decided to go with fast outputs. So the time is less than 5 milliseconds per binary output. Yeah, so I think you're here on a really cool, you're really a cool feature. So all binary outputs are fast here.
Well, so fast. And is a front communication cable provided with each device?
This will be an add-on. Yeah, so we didn't plan right now to put it into the same package. Yeah, so it will be an add-on cable.
Okay, yeah, maybe like charging units for mobiles. When at some states you can collect them, so the cable is additional stuff to order. That's okay, I think. Cybersecurity, once again a question, it's a concern in the auditorium, I think. Are updates necessary for future cybersecurity threats?
For sure, it might be possible. Yeah, so we cannot look into the future, but there might be the possibility that there will be some updates regarding cybersecurity. Yeah.
And people are curious. When can we receive a link for downloading the catalog and the manual?
So the catalog will be available beginning of next month, beginning of February. Yeah, so we will offer this catalog also on our website, and the manuals they will be available together with the delivery release of the devices. Yeah, so a little bit before. But I think the main important thing right now is really to have the catalog available, where you find all the information, what the device can do right now, what we also plan a bit for the future, and you see all the details of all the possibilities of the device.
Okay. And I see here one last question in my system. What accuracy do the measured values on the display have?
I cannot give you a final answer here because, as we mentioned already, we decided to go very early in the information phase, so that we want to inform you about our relays. This means that also we are right now at the end of our testing phase, and so as soon as the testing phase is done, I can give you a clear statement then how exactly the accuracy is. But you can be sure it will be a very, very impressive accuracy.
So people should stay curious and follow you on all our channels, I think.
Right.
Great. So on my end here, I have now no more new questions. So I thank the auditorium for all of your questions, and thank you for sure to Johannes and Thomas for all your answers. If questions come to your mind later, please contact the specialists via LinkedIn, for example. I'm sure they will get back to you soon. And the special promotion that is part of this webinar will be sent to all participants, as well as access to the recording and the slides. You might already have seen it in the upper right-hand corner of the system here. You find some additional material to download. It is the invitation flyer for next week's World of Energy Automation. It's a combination of conference and exhibition. I'll be there, the moderator again. It is a second flyer, the invitation for virtual and nevertheless hands-on training for SIPROTEC 5. And it is the flyer with information on SIPROTEC 5 Compact. And to give you the chance for feedback, we invite you to take part in this last poll. We'd like to know from you how helpful you rate the session. So thank you very much for your active participation. I learned that we had about 600 guests there. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure for me to guide you through this webinar on SIPROTEC 5 Compact. We learned about the newest capabilities and features that this device offers. Do you remember the benefits? It's a protection trend for medium voltage applications, and it provides advanced features for your clients. I'm looking forward to meeting you in one of our next webinars, maybe next week during the virtual conference, Global World of Energy Automation. So my time right here is over again. Thank you, Johannes. Thank you, Thomas. Goodbye, auditorium. Stay safe and sound, and take care.